How
you?
do it? Had some troubles to log in, but here we are.
No problem. You look very good.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Thank you. I love your outfit and your look. Very optimistic.
Thank you.
Yeah. So how have you been? How have your holidays been?
Oh, very, very well. It's all been a bit family-ish, and we had this Christmas thing with the family. I had a New Year's little gig, which in which Jeremy joined us.
Yeah.
And it was very, very nice. It was very nice, comfy, and 40 people, quite exclusive, nice little something. And we did a little concert there, and it was nice. And how did you?
Yes, I also celebrated at a local concert as well in Bratislava, in my city, and we were 10 people. But we were a group of 10 friends, and we went to a concert venue for the New Year's Eve, but also very local, very kind of small, and a local Slovak band. So it was very nice. Yeah, nothing crazy, but low profile, and people of our age like to talk more than dance.
Yeah, exactly. and it can go crazy, but then it's nice and comfortable crazy.
Yes, exactly. And then I went to the mountains, and we were snowed in, and I went skiing, and I love hiking.
Nice.
It was very romantic atmosphere with a lot of snow. And yesterday I just moved down from the mountains to the capital, and we have minus 12 today. So
whoa,
yeah, like it's unexpectedly cold, but it's good for the nature.
It's good for nature. We feel very humble with the cold. We are -3 now, or -2, something like that.
Yeah.
We don't have the snow yet, but you are gifted with lots of snow, huh?
Yeah, I believe I was born in February, so I like.
So that's your
my element.
That's your element, Aquarius. Huh?
Yes,
You're an
exactly.
Aquarius. Okay, my wife is too.
So you know our kind.
Yes, I know.
And what is your star sign? I forgot.
I'm a Taurus.
A Taurus. Okay. Yeah. My grandma is a Taurus in May. Are you?
Yes.
Very strong personality. Yeah.
Wow. Well.
Well, that's something I didn't know. So can we share this information, or is this information private?
No.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you very much for your time. So you can see SociisGroup is taking it, rolling.
Yeah, it's rolling. Huh? I can feel it. It's
to a lot of countries and global impact. So
yes. It's there's a lot of things happening, and I'm glad you want to fill me in a bit more.
Yes. Well, what we'd like to do is to take these interviews with you, our valued honorary members, and then, of course, we would like to share it with our members, but not publicly. So if you agree,
no,
yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay.
That's the plan, exactly. So that the content is exclusive for our members, and then your stories will be shared, but only within the network. And then we will maybe take a couple of sentences like testimonials, or ideas for the social media. But you can see that the social media that we share, we take some interesting quotes for inspiration, because that's what people look for on a daily basis. So then we will write a little story or an article, and of course we will share this with you prior to publishing it. But the whole point is to share the narratives, and to share inspiration and to be inspirational one to another. And in fact, we have a call as well at 1 p.m. So in like half an hour with another singer. Yes. With Samuel. Do you know Samuel Hope? Yes. So I will send you a link, and then if you'd like to, you can join in at the beginning and meet. Do you know him? Have you met him?
Well, no, not me, no, but I talked to him very briefly while Jeremy was interviewing him.
Yes, and he's going to be there, and also Jeremy is in another call, but at 1 p.m. all of us will join in. Yeah, so you are very much invited to that one.
Thank you.
Yes, so thank you for that. And but basically what we are interested in is your ideas, your thoughts, and your inspiration. So if you would like to share a little bit of your story to our audience and to our members, because you know that now we have members at Papua New Guinea and Chile and Argentina and United States and also in Europe, but not everybody knows all of the members. So we'd like these stories and your stories to be an inspiration for everyone. So what would you share? And Jean, the floor is yours. And I'd be interested in your story and how you got where you got, what you consider success in your eyes. And I know that for you, success is not always maybe the same as like for business people. And just what you think is a valuable lesson for the future generations.
Whoa, that's a lot in one line, but I'll start with introducing myself.
Okay.
So you can hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you well. Clear.
Okay, cool. So I'll introduce myself. My name is Jean Bosco Safari. My origin is half Rwandan, so I'm from Rwanda, and half Belgian. And my father was Belgian, my mother was Rwandan. And at the age of 6, I got, let's say, I was adopted. I was sent away. My family lived on a mountain, on a hill. We had to leave very, very urgently on a certain time when the war came into Rwanda, and we were evacuated to a refugee camp with the whole family. It was just a matter of hours, and then we suddenly had to move from our hill to that refugee camp. And in that refugee camp, something happened that my mother decided to give me away for adoption, to give me a better chance in life. Now, my mother had 2 children from that white, let's say, industrial, colonial person. I didn't know him, never knew him. Since this year, I saw his picture. So, okay, there we are. Well, my sister, who was the other child, we were 2 of us, and we were like a new family, because my mother was remarried to some black guy, Rwandan person. So we were like a double family. But the only one who was sent away for adoption was me. That was in 1960. And to make it short, because this story can go on forever, I was then sent to Belgium. I got adopted there in 1960 as well. From the moment we were left our hill in Rwanda till my adoption, I think there was maybe 2 months. So that was a sudden culture change, a culture shock, actually. And so I grew up as a kid here in Belgium, in Antwerp, near Antwerp, place called Merksen. So, my journey began there. And I had this feeling that I was like guided. But you don't know that precisely then. You could add words to it. It was quite later that I found out I was sort of guided. So in 1963, I was blessed hearing the Beatles. A 9-year-old kid from Rwanda, don't know his father. His mother left him or sent him away for the better cause, of course, but you didn't know that back then. And then suddenly you hear this positive music, the Beatles. I was totally into it. So, and that was my locomotive that was my drive to go more and more into that music. And I knew when I was 17 or 18, I knew I was going to do that. That was what I was going to do, making music. But the more and more I got into music, I also got into cartooning. I'm a gifted cartoonist. I'm a Western cartoonist. I draw cartoons from Indians, cowboys, horses, everything that has to do with Western, and that's my thing. So I think I'm half an Indian too.
Yeah, and Belgium is definitely a good country to be in because cartoons are.
That's one of their that's one of their
important
main ingredients is where they conquered the world with. And we had Adolf Sax, we had Toots Thielemans. We have also very gifted cartoonists. Anyway, but I was cartooning. I was in this studio where I was just doing my thing with 500 drawers and cartoonists. And so I was a cartoonist, not to become a real, I was professional, but I mean, music was my first love. So I was sponsoring with the drawing cartoons, I was sponsoring the music. So I went on and on and on. And to make a long story short, I became a pop musician in Belgium. In the 90s, I got this deal with Sony. I got this producer called Kenny Moore, who was the piano player of Tina Turner. And then, well, the world opened up for us. But we had our management was not really into it because they stole money from us. And they set us up. And so I was like a setback, but I continued. So I made 4 or 5 albums with Sony, Universal. I had very good producer. And then I started working on my own. And it was tough. That was tough time. I was starting 2000. We had a tough time because we wanted to do everything all by ourselves, which was not a very good success. You cannot do things all by yourself. So, but we still made CDs and good CDs, and but it was tough to find good guidance.
And what helped you? What guided you? Like you
persistence. The guiding. It's a very good question because in those hard times, when you wanted to do it all by yourself, you have this this thing within you, this voice within you, this drive within you that says, what you do with the people, for the people, that's almost sacred. It's so nice to do that. And my thing was like, I want to connect people whenever or wherever I was, in the worst circumstances, on a stage that was barely you could call a stage, with people who trying to trick you. We have so many stories, but we did also very good and great things. I'm doing also inspirational, motivational things with big companies. I was in with my this concept that I have, tune your team to music. It's called Tune Your Team to Music, We went very far. We went international. We had this. I think the biggest thing I did was like an inspirational show for Sarah Lee in Chicago for the change of president. And we had lots of in Switzerland, France, Germany, UK, everywhere. So it was really nice. But still music, connecting people, that was the locomotive. And with the Beatles in my heart, it's not that I want to impersonate the Beatles or imitate them. It's just the soul of the Beatles, their spirit. And that was connecting people. And that's what I'm still doing. So in how I got through all this, it's like being persistent, like never let go. So it went on. Whenever I did even a private show for 2 people or a show for thousands of people, it was still there, that magic feeling of connection. And how do you do that? I don't know. It's sort of a thing that it's in me, and it happens there, and you should see a concert.
Yeah,
That's all I can say.
I heard about it. I saw a little bit of a private concert in Netherlands, and I still have goosebumps from when you played. So I'm very much of a music and emotional person. So I totally understand. But you know what I'd like to know? Like, a lot of people these days are looking for their calling, for the meaning of life, for that one thing that gives the purpose. You know, the purpose is very, very important. How did you know? Was it immediately clear, or did you have to look for it? Or what would you recommend for people now in their 30s, 40s, 50s? A lot of people have midlife crisis and so on. How to find your purpose?
Well, it's a matter of being aware of following order. That's the word. Following order. And what is the following order of a human person, or whatever? It's breathing. That's the first thing. If you don't breathe for 3 minutes, it's done.
That's true.
Then the worth of water, because if you don't drink water, then maybe 6 days, it's done. Then third thing is the way what you eat is what you are. So it's the third thing. Then the fourth thing is like you need to know, you need to move, you need to be in progress all the time. So, but literally moving, it's like sports or whatever. And the fifth thing is the way to keep it all in balance. And then comes who you are, because it's actually you have to know all the basics, because the basics will serve you. And then you have to that's the sixth thing, is you have to need some time in silence. You have to meet yourself in silence, not be in the crowd all the time. So you sit down and you think a lot, and you just feel, you write, whatever your thing is, because some people talk into a little machine, or some people in their notebook or whatever, and then you start to recognize yourself, because you have to. It's every day sort of like an evaluation. If you look in the mirror, you just say, "Hey, how was my day today?" And then you look backwards. You look backwards till from the moment you go to sleep, and then that's very important. But before you do that, before you find out about the following order, That's because you have all kinds of priorities. When they put you in school, there is this thing. You have to have your diploma, and you have to do this, and you have to do that. But they never tell you how to breathe, because breathing is so important. Did you know we have a little chemical lab in the middle of our brain?
Yeah.
They don't tell you that.
And controls our emotions.
All the endorphins and dopamines and all that. So they have to tell you that. And if you breathe, you send oxygen to your brain. Your brain can really comfortably, without panicking, go and control those emotions by means of that little lab you got in your brains. If you don't have enough oxygen, you're in trouble. You have anxieties, you have all that. So that's the first thing to do. It's breathe. Breathe well. Breathe in. Keep some time the breath in. Give the space to the body to distribute oxygen to the brain, and the brain will calm down and will say, "Oh, this is what we do. Okay, I'm fine. Okay." But if you don't do that, you're a prey for anxieties and stuff.
Yeah, because we forget about ourselves. We forget to nourish. We nourish everybody else around, everything else around, but forget ourselves. Yeah, I totally understand you. Yes, I have a difficult
before I found out about that, I was like, you just live, huh? You wake up, you rush, you do things, you love things, but it's you don't have control over it.
Yeah.
So first thing is following order of the basic stuff. And then you can fine-tune. You start fine-tuning things. And that following order thing, I call it the act of balance. Because you can find out about breath and all that, but you have to always keep it in balance with something. And if you hear me talking, it sounds like I'm completely in control. But I have my moments that I also think, oh my God, forgot about following order. I have to sit down and just relax. And but you have to maintain it, see? And you have to. So that's one thing. The second thing is when you start fine tuning it, then you have to, and there's so many things to talk about, Eva, because then you have to find out whether if you love yourself or not.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah. And that's a thing which is very personal, because I cannot make it a general thing. I cannot make it a general thing because in my case, I can only talk about my case. In my case, I was like a kid that was sent away, not recognized by his dad. So I had this low self-worth level. But what I did with the music was very high stuff.
Yeah, it is.
And so it still is. I can do this. And I was like, whoa. And so in a way it kept me humble. It kept me low, but without, it's again this balance thing that you need to know what your power is, what your strength is. And if you get to know it, you have to keep very humble and grateful. Okay. But only gratefulness and humbleness won't do if you need to reach people, if that's your goal, if that's your purpose. And that's my purpose. Reach people, connect people, tell them that they're not alone. And it's not that simple, because there's so many things I can talk about now, But I want to stick to your first question. What's your purpose? But I explained about the following order, and the second thing was like the fine tuning of it. So the fine tuning is like, it starts with a sort of following order. Do you love yourself? And in what degree do you love yourself? Because most people wake up, they live from certain moments during daytime, like the meal time, getting food, being forced to work, other work with a smile. Then they go then from entertainment, and then sex is also one of those points they live for, and then it's maybe it's time to go to sleep then. So it's very basic. But if you really have a purpose, then you try to make work your purpose, and not a forced thing, not something somebody has to do for, maybe if you're self-employed, maybe you work for a boss, you're an employee, but you don't like it, but you need it because you have to make a living. And there's the point where I think I succeeded to gradually tell myself, you're worth it. You're worth it. Do you love yourself? Yeah, I love myself and I'm worth it. But I'm having difficult times. I don't know my dad. I don't know what to do with this problem. I'm sabotaging myself sometimes because of my low self-worth. But so I climbed up in the on the self-worth scale for myself. And now I got to the point, I'm 70 almost. I got to the point that I really love myself. And it's been quite a bumpy ride.
It is.
And I cannot say that I did not do nice things in life or I did achieve nothing because my low self-worth. But the self-worth was like in a blockade. And the next question is, how did you unlock that blockade? How did you neutralize it? How did you come out of it? And that's the third thing in the fine tuning. It's asking questions. It's the healing power of asking questions. And now we get into an area which is sort of like, not everybody wants to get in that area. And it is called belief. And I'm not talking about religion. I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about the area. If we're talking about roots, visualize that you have on your left side the family tree, the family roots of your father. On the right side, you have the family roots of your mother, and they go into the earth. Let's visualize that. Okay, then that's something to believe in. But if you look up to the sky, there's also something going on there, and I'm still not talking about religion.
No.
I'm talking about the place we take as one whole called this planet Earth. And why am I saying like left side parents rooting in the earth, right side mom's side rooting in the earth? Why am I saying that? Because it's dust. We're this earth. we all formed like ages, centuries, I don't know for how long, but we are the earth. We come from dust and we go back to dust. But then we look up, then we say, whoa, this earth belongs to another system, which is the universe. Okay, yeah. But stick to the normal stuff, Mr. Safari, because that's too airy, I don't want to use the word spiritual, because then some people say, oh, no. I want to stick to facts.
Yeah, because the fact is...
There's no nylon thread holding this earth up somewhere. No, this thing, this electromagnetic pulses, keeps it all together. There's the moon, there's the sun, there's the stars. It's actually my last CD, Under Sun, Moon, Stars. And that deserves a little bit of thinking, a little bit of standing still, a little bit of why.
Yeah, and we all ask the ultimate question, why are we here and what's the legacy? I think people more and more ask, what's the legacy? What am I leaving here for my kids, for the future generations, for myself?
Exactly.
And very often I ask myself that.
Here we are. That's the question why we're talking. Why are we here? What are we doing? Why are we connecting? What is Jeremy doing? What is you doing? What is Jeff doing? What am I doing? What will the others in the future? What will we be doing, and why? So and it's sort of you always get back to the limitation of your existence, is because there is a stop to the question why. If you realize that there are maybe 200,000 or trillions other systems like the Milky Way, even more, are we going to get humble then? Yes, very humble. Aren't we just a grain of sand, just a drop of water in the ocean? And then you still think, you always go in circles, and you think, hey, what is this? Why? Why are we? Who created the system? Who created us? Who created all this? Then you suddenly have to say, you have to stop. Huh? After 10,000 whys, you say, stop. I need to go back to work.
Yeah.
To get back to the daily life things, which are very important then, because otherwise we cannot even ask the word why.
And thank you for the comment, exactly, because we immediately at SociisGroup saw the reason why, because it was crystal clear why to create SociisGroup, why to create social impact network. So when you heard about it for the first time, was it clear to you, or why did you say yes to SociisGroup? Why is it a good idea to join?
It's a very good question, because it wasn't clear.
Okay.
But the thing that was the clearest, and that's a quote, the water is the clearest at the source.
That's nice.
Because when the water comes out of the ground, the water is so clear, and it goes down to the sea, to the ocean, and it can get muddy and it can get whatever. But at the source, the water is the clearest. And the person I met first, who was the ambassador of Sociis, was Jeremy.
Yeah.
And he's a good friend of mine for years. And then he suddenly said to me, yeah, I'm going to go into another direction. I'm going to do it like this. And even because he just drop by drop, he revealed what he was doing. He didn't tell me from the beginning. But he was the clearest water from the source. So, and why I joined it is because I trusted him. And I knew he's a good guy. And I knew he was cooking something. And I trusted him. And that's why I said yes, even without asking why. But I knew intuitively that we were like-minded, and that we think in the way like I am because we are. It's the Ubuntu thing, and that we didn't have to talk to speak about it, to talk about it. But I felt it intuitively because I know him. He's that type of person. I am because we are.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you, Jean. We will have to finish because our time is up.
Of course.
And thank you. You know, I could talk to you for hours. And let's think about series. What do you think about series, right?
Yes, why not?
I think you have plenty to offer to the world still, and I'm very much looking forward to talking to you again. And I will send you a link now into WhatsApp for the second connection, okay? And we can meet with Jeremy there in 4 minutes, and with Sam, and it would be very, very nice if you guys connected.
I'll join in. And I just have half an hour, though, so that I have to go.
Yeah,
but
no
that will be approximately the time to.
Yeah, we just wanted the intro. Yeah, we wanted the introduction, and then just when you guys are connected, then of course no problem. Okay. Thank you so much.
See you later,
Jean, and I will see you later. Okay.
Okay. Bye. Bye.